Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to ditch the outdated beliefs, release the blocks, and fully embrace your sovereignty so you can confidently expand to allow more love, joy, and aligned success in your life. I am Niajae, your conscious accountability partner, reminding you that abundance is your birthright.
Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? If you are joining me for the first time, first let me say welcome. And although M&Ms are really yummy candies, it actually stands for magical manifestors because we are manifesting by default. And if you are tuning into this podcast, that means you want to manifest an amazing and abundant life. And that is what I am here to help you do. So I've actually started this chakra series. It wasn't intentional, but I follow the divine guidance. So if you haven't tuned into some of the previous chakra episodes, let me do a quick recap. So we have Chakra 101, which is episode number 60. We have Chakra Balancing, which is episode number 98. We have Root Chakra, which is episode number 114, and Sacral Chakra, which is episode 116, which brings us to the Solar Plexus. Now, I know that all of the chakras are important for different reasons, but this one is really important when it comes to living an abundant life, when it comes to truly thriving, because this chakra controls self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, basically everything that pertains to personal power, willpower, and taking action. So physically, it plays an important role in the functioning of your stomach, your kidneys, your liver, and adrenal glands. And this is a really important chakra for just really embracing who you are, loving yourself unconditionally, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the light and the dark, and really going for your goals, your desires, and being unapologetic about it. So all of that sits in your solar plexus. All right, so the element for solar plexus is fire, and the color is yellow. So how exactly do you identify if there is an imbalance in your solar plexus? If your solar plexus is underactive, meaning that it's a blockage or it's not receiving enough energy, that shows up as low self-esteem, extreme people-pleasing, meaning you're not setting healthy boundaries in your life. That shows up as anxiety, being really passive or indecisive, and not having a backbone. So that powerlessness. And it also shows up as a victim mentality. So life is happening to you. It's like, woe is me. I always get the shorter end of the stick. And then also lack of purpose. Now, if you have an overactive solar plexus, which means that it's receiving too much energy, that shows up as being controlling, aggressive, manipulative, judgmental. So judgmental could be judging others and yourself harshly. It shows up as being critical, stubborn, and taking action because you need validation from others. Now, this one is huge. The validation part is so huge. It's something that I'm sure I've talked about on the podcast often because it's something that I had to work through. And that shows up because of inner child stuff. So basically, if you were someone who had parents that were really critical, parents that didn't offer words of affirmation or nurturing, didn't tell you, good job, I'm proud of you, I love you, then as a child, you didn't receive something that you needed to develop into a strong, confident, like self-assured person. So then you seek it externally. So this is a huge topic when it comes to solar plexus, just being really confident in yourself, having that self-acceptance, having that inner confidence where you don't need the external things to validate who you are. Okay, so this is also where our ego sits. Now, have you ever felt like something drastic happened in life and it felt like a gut punch? That sits in your solar plexus. So when that happens, your ego or your confidence is taking a hit. It all sits in the solar plexus. And just if you haven't listened to this podcast before or heard me talk about ego, I personally do not think that ego is a bad thing. We all have ego, period. We all have ego. And the ego is designed to protect the inner child. So back to that inner child stuff. So it's designed to protect the inner child. If you do inner work, if you do inner child work, then it doesn't cause your ego to flare up as much. If you don't do inner child work or any type of self development, then you're triggered a lot more, you're defensive a lot more, because that's when the ego flares up. And I actually found a really great quote on social media about ego that I shared recently. A trigger is a call to action for the ego to get involved. So that call to action is because you haven't done the inner child work, or you need to do, and it's a continuous thing. So when I say you haven't done, it's not saying like, oh, you haven't done any work. So don't don't take it that way, but to say like this is something ongoing, it's something continuous. There is like adults, like people 50, 60, 70 years old that still have to have that inner dialogue with their inner child. And it's something that you take with you throughout life. So the more work that you do, the less the ego flares up, but different situations are going to cause different reactions. And I feel like we always have triggers. Let me know what you think about that. Definitely tag me on Instagram at Niajae and tell me, what do you think about triggers? Do you think that at a certain point, you just don't have triggers anymore? I read something that said remove the buttons. If people are always pushing your buttons, remove the buttons. But I think that throughout life, different things are going to trigger you. And I don't think that there's anyone who doesn't have any triggers at all, unless it's like a monk or something like that. I think that we have to open up that dialogue with our inner child and be comfortable speaking to them, period. That's my thought. So tag me on Instagram, like, let me know what you think. So what does a balanced solar plexus look like? A balanced solar plexus looks like someone who is confident, motivated, reliable, and responsible. A balanced solar plexus will help you tap into your personal power and have the confidence to go after and live the life you truly desire. So I had to add in there, live the life you truly desire, because some people get caught in the pattern of just chasing the life they desire, just chasing their dreams, just chasing their goals and not actually living it. So it's really important that you go after it, and then you also live and thrive in it and do it unapologetically. Sometimes people get to a certain point and they self-destruct. They self-destruct because they feel guilty that they have this life or these experiences that some people don't have. Maybe their siblings, maybe their parents, maybe their partner. And so they self-destruct to bring themselves down a notch so they can meet other people in their lives where they are. So having the confidence to truly go after what you desire and do so unapologetically, and give people around you the opportunity to rise to meet you. So rather than self-destructing, self-sabotaging to knock yourself down to meet the other people in your life that you care about where they're at, give them the opportunity to rise to meet you. And let me not get on that soapbox. But I talk about that a lot when it comes to upper limits. We have these upper limits where we hit a certain point and then we self-destruct because we hit that glass ceiling. So to me, the solar plexus is what you have to really balance and tap into to break through that glass ceiling, break through that upper limit. And that's where also imposter syndrome sits in the solar plexus. So this chakra is so important. And I know I say that about all of them because they all are important, but when it comes to living an abundant life, this one is so crucial to living an abundant life. Okay, so also a balanced chakra also allows you to discover who you truly are and be your authentic self, and gives you the ability to overcome fear, set healthy boundaries, master your thoughts, so important, and make conscious choices. A balanced solar plexus will make you feel empowered, resilient, and sovereign. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love this. I love this chakra so much. So I do sound therapy at a rehab facility, and solar plexus also controls discipline. It controls discipline. So when it comes to addictions and obsessive behavior, like this also sits in your solar plexus. So having self-control is a balanced solar plexus.
What do you do for energetic self-care? Life challenges us. However, we have tools to help us navigate the transitions, release trapped emotions, maintain positive energy, and expand to allow more joy and excitement. Abundant and Aligned Society is an energetic self-care accountability program that helps you go from stress and anxiety, fight or flight, to operating from a place of abundance and alignment. Go to niajae.com/society for more information and start vibrating higher.
So how do you maintain balance in your solar plexus? The first one I'm going to mention, obviously, is sound therapy and meditation. So for those who are really serious about their transformation, I offer one-on-one coaching, chakra balancing, and I also have a membership called Abundant and Aligned Society that offers inspirational text messages. And then you also have access to a vault of guided meditation, sound therapy recordings, journal exercises to help bring you back to a place of peace and alignment when life challenges you and help you maintain balance in your chakras. So if you want more information about that, you can reach out to me via email at contact@niajae.com, or you can send me a message on Instagram or tag me. I am the most active on Instagram, so that's always the fastest way to get to me. So just slide up in the DM if you want more information about that. You can also eat yellow foods. So as I mentioned earlier, the color for the solar plexus is yellow. So bananas is the first thing that comes to mind. And you have like yellow squash and lemon. Lemon is so good for you. So squeezing lemon in your water, and not only is it going to help balance your solar plexus, it's also hydrating and helps keep your body alkaline. So it's a win-win situation. The next thing you can do is spend time in the sun. So it's a fire element. So being in the sun is definitely going to help balance that chakra. And if you think about it, like going to the beach and like sitting out in the sun, sunbathing, it makes people feel good. And I kind of feel like people are happier when they're at the beach. I live in Florida, so I feel like the people are way happier here than anywhere else I've lived. And if you think about it, when people go on vacation, how good you feel when you're on vacation. So yeah, think about that, spending time in the sun. The next thing is try new things that you enjoy or make you feel accomplished. So if you have a hobby that makes you feel really good, if you have a certain skill that you do, like when you do it, you feel really accomplished. I know some guys like to play golf or sports in general. And for females, like maybe go dancing if you're a really great dancer. There's so many different things and activities that you can do, but trying something that just makes you feel good, makes you feel confident and talented and fabulous, you know? So doing something either new or something that you're really good at, that's just going to make you feel good. And last but definitely not least, doing inner child work. This is so extremely powerful. A lot of our blocks start from a young age, and creating that inner dialogue with your inner child and loving on your inner child is so important. So your solar plexus is going to be impacted if you had absent parents, if you had super critical parents, if you had verbal abuse or any kind of abuse, but especially verbal abuse, this is going to sit in your solar plexus. So giving yourself the love, the words of affirmation, the nurturing that you didn't receive as a child, as an adult, is so important. So, you know, whatever it is, like, I know for me, I moved around a lot as a child, and that made me feel like I wasn't stable, and I always had to make new friends. So anytime something shifts in life, my inner child gets a little like anxious. And so I've learned to just be like, you're okay. You're okay. Everything's working out for your greatest good. You're okay. So it's just that inner dialogue of just comforting my inner child. And I had a mom that was very like, suck it up. You're right. You're fine. Like, but with an attitude, not like, you're okay. It was like, suck it up, be strong. That's it. And so as a child, you know, you grow a little hard. And so throughout life, I had to learn how to soften. And I also have learned how to be nurturing to my inner child. And on a surface, I am a super strong, like, powerful, badass woman, but my inner child needs comforting. So I've learned that I cannot seek that comfort externally. I have to do it internally. So I created that inner dialogue with my inner child, and I tell her, like, you're okay. You're going to be okay. You're amazing. You're fabulous. And everything is working out for your greatest good. And when you can when you can say that and truly mean it to yourself, that is powerful. And your inner child is smiling, and you just don't need that external validation anymore. You're not seeking that comfort from others anymore. And if others give you comfort and love and support, that's a bonus, but you have done it within, and nothing can replace that. Nothing can replace that. Everything else is a bonus. So finding that inner peace, finding that inner confidence, finding that inner acceptance, that self acceptance is so extremely powerful. And so that is what this chakra is about, finding that personal power, finding mastery within without all of the external circumstances. So if someone doesn't show up for you, if someone doesn't support you, if someone doesn't love on you, you are able to love, support, accept yourself. So extremely powerful. So powerful when it comes to living an abundant life and truly thriving, and thriving for you and not because you're keeping up with the Joneses. This is something that, you know, I've spoken on a little bit in some previous episodes, like really living life for you, really owning who you are and doing the things that make you feel amazing and fabulous and being unapologetic about it. And I can go on, you guys know. I can go on and on and on about it because I feel like I am someone who has lived my life so much for what other people would think. And I tiptoed into, because obviously I'm a very unique individual, but I did it safely, and I did it like I tiptoe into this and dabble into this. But when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do, that is when I feel like I truly came alive, and I truly allowed my solar plexus to expand. And what I'm creating these days just feels so much better because I'm creating from a place of like alignment versus what I think people will like or what I think people want to hear. I'm creating for me. And one of the first things that I did to really step into that is glitter my wall. I'm like, okay, I know people are going to be like, this girl is extra and over the top and whatever, but I'm like, it makes me happy. And and I told this story in a previous episode, so I'm just reiterating for anyone who's new, just joining me. I sold my couch and I moved my bed into my living room, and I turned my bedroom into a sound therapy studio. And it's something so unorthodox and not typical because like you come in and like I don't have a living room. My living room is technically my bedroom, but it's like who says that it has to be this way? So how much of your life are you living because society or your parents or your friends or your partner says you have to do it this way? What if you gave yourself the opportunity to do it how you truly wanted and didn't care? And when I say didn't care, not saying like, okay, just go do this and don't care what your partner or family says, but like live your life for you. So not allowing other people's opinions to shape how you live your life. What would you do if you didn't care what anyone thought? What would you do if you didn't base how you're living your life on how society says you should live your life? If you weren't going according to the social norms, how would you be? How would you show up? How would you live your life? I want you to sit with that. Sit with that. Let me know if you want to share with me. I'd love to hear it. Send me a message on Instagram. I always love hearing from you. I love when people share that they found value in these episodes. So reach out to me on Instagram at Niajae, and I hope that you understand how important balancing the chakras are and how our bodies are communicating with us. So every ache, pain, physical ailment that you experience is teaching you something that, you need to learn, something you need to observe, something you need to heal from. And we have this knowledge, but are we tapping into it? We have inside of us everything that we need to live the life that we truly desire. It's all about peeling the layers back, getting to the core of our programming, and really just observing, like, is this something that I want to harness, or is this something I want to release? Is this something that's serving me, or is it something that's holding me back? And when you have that awareness, that's majority of the battle. So I hope you found value in this. Again, reach out to me on Instagram, tag me, take a screenshot wherever you're tuning in from, and tag me in the story so I can share the love. If you know someone that needs to hear this, definitely share the episode. And until next time, be decadent.
Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.